students, welcome to the PD Life Science Academy for the Happy Learning. नीट एक्झामचे प्रिपरेशन जे विद्यार्थी करत आहेत त्यांच्यासाठी बेसिक कन्सेप्ट लर्निंग आणि लिंकिंग ऑफ कन्सेप्ट हे जेवढे गरजेचे आहे तेवढेच NCERT बुकमधील चॅप्टरचे कंटेंट रीड करणे आवश्यक आहे. हे करत असताना फक्त एक रीडिंग करून चालणार नाही, मल्टिपल टाइम्स रिव्हिजन होणे गरजेचे आहे. यात टाळाटाळ करणे चांगले नव्हे. आपण सेट केलेले टार्गेट अचीव करण्यासाठी PD लाईफ सायन्स अकॅडमीने सर्व स्टुडंटसाठी जे नीट एक्झामचे प्रिपरेशन करीत आहेत त्यांच्यासाठी 21 डे रीडिंग चॅलेंजची सुरुवात केली आहे. रोज एका चॅप्टरचे रीडिंग आपण कंप्लीट करणार आहोत. हे चॅलेंज ज्या विद्यार्थ्यांनी ॲक्सेप्ट केले आहे त्यांनी त्यांचे डेली टार्गेट अचीव केल्यावर कॉमेंट करून सांगायचे आहे. सो लेट्स गेट रेडी फॉर टेकिंग रीडिंग चॅलेंज. ऑल द व्हेरी बेस्ट. थँक यू. 21 डे बायोलॉजी रीडिंग चॅलेंज डे 16 reading challenge chapter number 16 from the NCERT biology textbook of the 11th standard. The name of chapter is a digestion and the absorption. Food is one of the basic requirement of all the living organism. The major component of our food are the carbohydrate, proteins and the fats. The vitamins and the mineral are also required as a small quantities. The food provides the energy and the organic material for the growth and repair of the tissues. The water we take in play an important role in the metabolic processes and also prevent the dehydration of the body. Biomolecules in the food cannot be utilized by our body in their original form. They have to be broken down and converted into the simple substances in digestive system. This period of the conversion of the complex food substances to simple absorbable form is called as the digestion and is carried out by our digestive system by the mechanical and the biochemical methods. Generally, the organization of the human digestion system is as shown in figure. Now the 16.1 is a digestive system. Human digestive system consists of the alimentary canal and the associated glands. Now the 16.1.1 is the alimentary canal. Alimentary canal begin with the anterior opening the mouth and it opens out posteriorly through the anus. The mouth leads to the buccal cavity or the oral cavity. The oral cavity has the number of teeth and the muscular tongues. Each tooth is embedded in the socket of the jaw bones and this type of the attachment is called as the thecodont. The majority of the mammals including the human being forms the two sets of the teeth during their life. The set of the temporary milk or the deciduous teeth replaced by a set of the permanent or the adult teeth. This type of the dentition is called as a diphycodonts. In adult human has the 32 permanent teeth which are the four different types, that is the heterodont dentition. Namely, the incisor indicates by the I letter, then the canine C, premolar PM and the molar by the M. Arrangement of the teeth in each half of the upper and the lower jaw in order of the incisor, then the canines and the premolar and the molar represented by the dental formulas which in a human is the 2 1 2 3 divided by 2 1 2 3. The hard chewing surface of the teeth made up of the enamel that helps in the mastication of the tongue is a freely movable muscular organ and attached to the floor of the organ cavity by the frenulum. The upper surface of the tongue has a small projections called as a papillae and some of which bears the taste buds. The oral cavity leads into the short pharynx which serve as a common passage for the food and the air. The esophagus and the trachea, that is the windpipe, opens into the pharynx. A cartilaginous flap called as the epiglottis prevents the entry of the food into the glottis. Opening of the windpipe during the swallowing The esophagus is the thin long tube which extends the posteriorly, passing through the neck, throat and the diaphragm, and leads to the J-shaped bag like the structure called as a stomach. The muscular sphincter, that is the gastroesophageal, regulates the opening of the esophagus into the stomach. The stomach locates in the upper left portion of the abdominal cavity, has a 4 major parts: a cardiac portion into which the esophagus opens, the fundic region, the body main central region, and the pyloric portion which opens into the first part of the small intestine. The small intestine is distinguishable into the 3 regions, that is the C-shaped duodenum, a long coil middle portion duodenum, and the jejunum, and the highly coiled is the ileum. The opening of the stomach into the duodenum is guarded by the pyloric sphincters. Ileum opens into the large intestine. It consists of the cecum, colon and the rectum. The cecum is the small blind sac which hosts some symbolic microorganism and narrow finger-like tubular projections. A vermiform appendix, which is the vestigial organ, arises from the cecum. The cecum opens into the colon, and colon is divided into the 4 parts as ascending and the transverse descending part and the sigmoidal colon. The descending part opens into the rectum, which opens out through the anus. The wall of the alimentary canal from the esophagus to the rectum possesses the 4 layers, namely the caesura, the muscularis, submucosa and the mucosa. Serosa is the outermost layer and is made up of the thin mesothelial epithelium of the mesothelium, that is the epithelium of the visceral organs with some connective tissue. The muscularis is formed by the smooth muscle usually arranged into an inner circular and the outer longitudinal layer. An obligate muscle layer may be present in some regions. The submucosal layer is a form of the loose connective tissues and containing the nerves, blood and the lymph vessels. In duodenum, the glands are also present in the submucosa, the innermost layer lining, and the lumen of the alimentary canal is the mucosa. This layer forms the irregular folds, that is the rheogim, in the stomach, and the small finger-like foldings called as a villi in the small intestine. The cell lining and the villi produces the numerous microscopic projections called as a microvilli, giving a brush borders appearance. This modification increases the surface area enormously. Villi are the supply with the network of the capillaries and the large lymph vessels called as a lacteals. The mucosal epithelium has a goblet cells which secrete the mucus that helps in the lubrication. The mucosa also forms the glands in the stomach, that is the gastric glands, and the crypts in between the bases of the villi in the intestine. The crypts of the libercules. All of the 4 layers shown the modification in the different parts of the alimentary canal. The 16.1.2 is a digestive gland. The digestive gland associated with the alimentary canal include the salivary glands and the liver and the pancreas. The saliva is mainly produced by the 3 parts of the salivary glands: the parotid, that is the cheek, the submaxial or the submandibular lower jaw, the sublingular, that is below the tongue region, and these glands stimulates or situated just outside the buccal cavity secretes the salivary juice into the buccal cavity. The liver is the largest gland of the body, weighing about the 1.2 to 1.5 kg in adult human. It is situated in the abdominal cavity just below the diaphragm and has a 2 lobes, the hepatic lobe and the structural and the functional structure of the liver containing the hepatic cell arranged in the form of the cord. Each lobule is covered by the thin connective tissue sheath called as the Gleason's capsule. The bile secreted by the hepatic cell passes through the hepatic duct and is stored and concentrated in a thin muscular sac called as a gallbladder. The duct of the gallbladder, that is the cystic duct, along with the hepatic duct from the liver, forms the common bile duct. The bile duct and the pancreatic duct opens together into the duodenum as a common hepatopancreatic duct, which is guarded by the sphincter called as a sphincter of the Woody. The pancreas is the compound, that is the both exocrine and the endocrine. The elongated organ situated between the limbs of the C-shaped duodenum and the exocrine portion secrete the alkaline pancreatic juice containing the enzymes, and the endocrine portion secrete the hormone, that is the insulin and the glucagon. Now the 16.2 is the digestion of the food. The process of the digestion is accomplished by the mechanical and the chemical processes. The buccal cavity performs the two major functions, the mastication of the food and the facilitation of the swallowing. The teeth and the tongue, with the help of the saliva, masticate and mix up the food thoroughly. The mucus of the saliva helps in the lubricating and adhering the masticated food particles into the bolus. The bolus then convey into the pharynx and then into the esophagus by swallowing and or the deglutition. The bolus further passes down through the esophagus by the successive way of the muscular contraction called as a peristalsis. The gastroesophageal sphincters control the passage of the food into the stomach. The saliva secrete into the oral cavity contain the electrolyte, that is the sodium, potassium, chloride and the carbonate, that is the HCO3 minus, and the enzymes, salivary amylase and the isozymes. The chemical process of the digestion is initiated in the oral cavity by the hydrolytic action of the carbohydrate splitting the enzymes. The salivary amylase, about the 30% of the starch is hydrolyzed here by this enzyme, that is optimum pH shows the 6.8 into the disaccharide, that is in the maltose. The lysozymes present in the saliva act as an antibacterial agent that prevents the infection, that is the starch is converted into the maltose, that is in presence of the salivary amylase. In the pH range is the 6.8. The mucosa of the stomach has a gastric glands. The gastric glands have the three major types of the cell, namely the first is a mucous neck cell which secrete the mucus. Second is the pectic or a chief cells which secrete the proenzyme pepsinogen, and the partial or the oxantic cells which secrete the SCL or the intrinsic factor, the factors essential for the absorption of the vitamin B12. The stomach stores the food for the 4 to 5 hours. The food mixed thoroughly with the acetic gastric juice and the stomach by the churning movement of its muscular wall and is called as a chyme. The proenzyme the pepsinogen on the exposure of the hydrochloric acid get converted into the active enzyme, that is the pepsin, the proteolytic enzyme of the stomach. The pepsin convert the protein into the proteolase or a peptone, that is the peptides. The mucus and the bicarbonate present in the gastric juice play an important role in the lubrication and the protection of the mucosal epithelium from the excoriation by the highly concentrated hydrochloric acid. The HCl provides the acidic pH, the pH 1.8 optimal for the pepsin. The renin is the proteolytic enzyme found in the gastric juice of the infant which helps in the digestion of the milk protein. Small amount of the lipase are also secreted by the gastric gland. The various type of the movements are generated by the muscularis layer of the small intestine. These movements help in the thoroughly through the mixing up of the food with the various secretion in the intestine and thereby the facilitate the digestion. The bile or the pancreatic juice and the intestinal juice are the secretion released into the small intestine. The pancreatic juice and the biles are the release through the hepatopancreatic duct. The pancreatic juice contains the inactive enzymes, the trypsinogen and the chymotrypsinogen, the paracarboxypeptidase, the amylase, lipase and the nuclease. The trypsinogen is activated by the enzyme enterokinase, the secreted by the intestinal mucosa into the active trypsin, which in turn activate the another enzyme in the pancreatic juice. The bile released into the duodenum contains the bile pigment, the bilirubin and the biliverdin, the bile salt, cholesterol and the phospholipid, but no enzymes. The bile helps in the emulsification of the fats, that is the breaking down of the fat into the very small micelles. The bile also activates the lipase. The intestinal mucosal epithelium has the goblet cell which secrete the mucus. The secretion of the brush borders cells of the mucosa along with the secretion of the goblet cell constitute the intestinal juice or a succus entericus. The juice contains the variety of the enzymes like the disaccharides, for example the maltase, the dipeptidase, lipase, nucleosidase, etc. The mucus along with the bicarbonate from the pancreas protects the intestinal mucosa from the acid as well as provides and the alkaline medium, that is the pH is the 7.8 for enzymatic activity. Submucosal glands, the Brunner glands also help in this. The protein proteases and the peptones partially hydrolyze the protein in the chyme reaching the intestine or act upon the proteolytic enzyme of the pancreatic juice as given below. The protein, peptones and the proteases in presence of the carboxypeptidase, the trypsin or the chymotrypsin, the dipeptide is formed. The carbohydrate in the chyme are the hydrolyzed by the pancreatic amylase into the disaccharide, that is the polysaccharide, that is the starch. In presence of amylase is give rise to the disaccharides. The fats are the broken down by the lipase with the help of and the bile into the di and the monoglycerides. The fats is converted into the diglyceride in presence of the lipase and again it converted into the monoglycerides. The nucleases in the pancreatic juice act on the nucleic acid to form the nucleotides and the nucleoside. The nucleic acid in presence of nuclease it forms the nucleotides and nucleotide forms the nucleosides. The enzyme in the succus, the enzymes in the succus entries act on the end product of the above reaction to form a repetitive simple absorbable form, and these final steps of the digestion occurs very close to the mucosal epithelial cell of the intestine. The dipeptide convert into the amino acid in presence of the dipeptidase enzyme. Maltose is converted into the glucose plus glucose unit in presence of the maltase enzyme. Lactose is converted into the glucose plus galactose in presence of the lactase enzyme, and sucrose is converted into the glucose plus fructose in presence of sucrase enzyme. Nucleotide converted into the nucleosides in presence of the nucleotidase, and the nucleosides are converted into the sugar plus bases, nitrogen bases in presence of nucleosidase enzyme. The di and the monoglyceride are converted into the fatty acid plus glycerol in presence of the lipase enzyme. The breakdown of the biomolecules mentioned above occurs in the duodenum region of the small intestine. The simple substances thus formed are the absorbed in the duodenum and the ileum region of the small intestine. The undigestible and the unabsorbable substances are passed on to the large intestine, and no significant digestive activity occur in a large intestine. The function of the large intestine are the absorption of the some water, mineral and the certain drugs. The second is the secretion of the mucus which help in the adhering the waste, that is undigested, the particles together and the lubricating it for and the easy passage. The undigested, unabsorbable substances called as a feces enter into the cecum of the large intestine through the ileocecal wall and which prevents the backflow of the fecal matter. It is the temporarily stored in the rectum till the defecation. The activation of the gastrointestinal tract are under the neural and the hormonal control for the proper coordination of the different parts. The sight, smell and or the presence of the food in the oral cavity can stimulate the secretion of the saliva. The gastric and the intestinal secretion are also similarly stimulated by the neural signals. The muscular activity of the different parts of the alimentary canal can also be moderated by the neural mechanism, both the local and through the central nervous system. The hormonal control and the secretion of the digestive juices is carried out by the local hormones produced by the gastric or the intestinal mucosa. The calorific value of the protein, carbohydrate and the fats. The box atom, that is not an evaluation. The energy requirement of the animals and the energy content of the food are the expressed in the terms of the measure of the heat energy, because heat is the ultimate form of all energies, and this is often measured to and the caloric or the calorie or the joules, which is the amount of the heat energy required to raise the temperature of the 1 gram of the water by the 1 degree centigrade. Since this value is a tiny amount of the energy, physiologists commonly use the kilocalories or kilojoules. 1 kilocalorie is the amount of the energy required to raise the temperature of the 1 kg of the water by 1 degree Celsius. The nutritionists traditionally refer to the kilocalorie as a calories or a joule away the capitalized the amount of the heat liberated from the complete combustion of the 1 gram of the food in the bomb calorimeters. A closed metal chamber filled with the oxygen is that the gross calorific or the gross energy value. The actual amount of the energy combustion of the 1 gram of the food is a physiologic value of the food. The gross calorific value of the carbohydrate, protein and the fats are the 4.1 kilocalories per gram, the 5.6.5 kilocalorie per gram and the 9.4.5 kilocalorie per gram respectively, wherein their physiological values the 4 kilocalories per gram and the 4 kilocalories per gram and the 9 kilocalorie per gram respectively. Now the 16.3 is the absorption of the digested product. The absorption is the process by which the end product of the digestion passes through the intestinal mucosa into the blood or the lymph. It is carried out by the passive, active and or the facilitated transport mechanism. Small amount of the monosaccharide like the glucose, amino acid and the some electrolyte like the chloride ions are generally absorbed by a simple diffusion. The passage of these substances into the blood depends upon the concentration gradient. However, some substances like the glucose and amino acids are absorbed with the help of the carrier protein, and this mechanism is called as a facilitated transport. The transport of the water depends upon the osmotic gradient, that is the active transport occurs against the concentration gradient and hence requires the energy. Various nutrients like the amino acid, monosaccharide like the glucose, electrolyte like the sodium are absorbed into the blood by this mechanism. The fatty acid and the glycerol being insoluble cannot be absorbed into the blood. The first incorporated into the small droplet called as a micelles which moves into the intestinal mucosa. They are reformed into the very small protein coat fats globules called as chylomicrons, and which are transported into the lymph vessel, that is the lacteals. in the villi. The lymph vessel ultimately release the absorbed substances into the bloodstream. The absorption of the substances take place in the different parts of the alimentary canal like the mouth, stomach, small intestine and the large intestine. However, the maximum absorption occurs in the small intestine. A summary of the absorption or a site of the absorption and the substances absorbed is given in a table. The summary of the absorption of the different parts of the digestive system. In mouth, the certain drugs coming into the contact with the mucosa of the mouth and the lower side of the tongue are the absorbed into the blood capillaries lining them. Then in the stomach, the absorptive of the water, simple sugars and the alcohol etc. take place. In the small intestine, the principal organ of the absorption of the nutrients, the digestion is completed here, and the final products of the digestion such as the glucose, fructose, fatty acids, glycerol and the amino acids are the absorbed through the mucosa into the bloodstream and the lymph. The large intestine, the absorption of the water, some minerals and the drug take place. The absorbed substances finally reach the tissues which utilize them for their activity. This process is called as assimilation. The digestive waste solidified into the coherent feces in the rectum initiate the neural reflect, causing the urge or a desire for its removal. The ejection of the feces to outside through the anal opening, that is the defecation, is the voluntary process and the carried out a mass peristaltic movement. The 16.4 is the disorders of the digestive system. The inflammation of the intestinal tract is the most common element due to bacterial and or the viral infection. The infection are also caused by the parasites of the intestine like the tapeworm, roundworm, threadworm, hookworm, pinworm, etc. Now the jaundice, the liver is affected. Skin and eyes are turned yellow due to the deposits of the bile pigment. Then the vomiting, it is the ejection of the stomach content through the mouth. It is reflects the action controlled by the vomit center in the medulla. A feeling of the nausea precedes the vomiting. The diarrhea, the abnormal frequency of the bowel movement and increase the liquidity of the fecal discharge is known as a diarrhea. It reduces the absorption of the food. The constipation, in constipation the feces the retained within the colon as a bowel movement called as a occur irregularly. The indigestion, in this condition the food is not properly digested, leading to the feeling of the fullness. The causal of the indigestion are the inadequate enzyme and secretion, anxiety, food poisoning, overeating and the spicy foods. The PEM, the diarrhea, PEM means the protein energy malnutrition. The dietary deficiency of the protein and the total food calories are the widespread in the many underdeveloped countries of the South and the Southeast Asia, South America, West and the Central Africa. Protein energy malnutrition, that is the PEM, may affect the large section of the population during the drought and the famine and the political turmoil the happening in the Bangladesh during the liberation war and the Ethiopia during the several drought in the mid 80s. The PEM affects the infant and the children to produce the marasmus and the Kwashiorkor. The marasmus is produced by the simultaneous deficiency of the protein and the calories. It is found in the infant less than the year in age. The mother milk is replaced too early and other food which are the poor in both proteins and the caloric values. The often happen if the mother has the second pregnancy or a childbirth when the older infant is still too young. In marasmus, the protein deficiency impair the growth and replacement of the tissues. Protein extreme emaciation of the body and the thinning of the limb result. The skin becomes the dry, thin and the wrinkle. The growth rate and the body weight declines considerably. When the growth and the development of the brain and the mental facilities are impaired, the kwashiorkor is produced by the protein deficiency unaccompanied by the calorie deficiency. It results from the placement of the mother's milk by the high caloric low protein diet in a child more than the 1 year in age. Like the marasmus, the kwashiorkor shows the wasting of the muscles, then the thinning of the limbs, failure of the growth and the brain development. But unlike the marasmus, some fats is still left under the skin, and moreover extensive erythema and the swelling of the body part are seen. The summary of the digestion and the absorption. Digestive system of the human consists of the alimentary canal and the associated digestive gland. The alimentary canal consists of the mouth, buccal cavity, pharynx, esophagus, stomach, small intestine, large intestine, rectum and the anus. The accessory digestive glands includes the salivary glands and the liver within the gallbladder and pancreas. The inside the mouth, the teeth masticates the food. The tongue tastes and the food manipulates it for the proper mastication by mixing with the saliva. The saliva contains the starch digestive enzyme salivary amylase that digests the starch and convert it into the maltose and the disaccharides. The food then passes into the pharynx and enter the esophagus in the form of the bolus, which is further carried down through the esophagus by the peristalsis into the stomach. In the stomach, mainly the protein digestion take place. Absorption of the simple sugars, alcohol and the medicines also take place in the stomach. The chyme or the food enters into the duodenum portion of the small intestine and is acted by the pancreatic juice, bile and finally by the enzymes in the succus entericus, so that the digestion of the carbohydrate, protein and the fats is completed. The food then enters into the duodenum and the ileum portion of the small intestine. The carbohydrates are digested and converted into the monosaccharide like the glucose. Proteins are finally broken down into the amino acid. The fats are converted by the fatty acids and the glycerol. The digested end products are absorbed into the body through the epithelial lining of the intestinal villi. The undigested food or the feces enter into the cecum of the large intestine through the ileocecal valves, and which prevents the backflow of the fecal matter. Most of the water is absorbed in the larger intestine. The undigested food becomes the semi-solid in the nature and then enters into the rectum, the anal canal, and is finally egested out through the anus. Thank you so much.